minimizing risk against employee claims of COVID-19. What should businesses do now, right now, to minimize risk against potential employee claims from someone becoming ill from COVID-19? Now, this is just a very high level presentation on this issue. I encourage you, if you need further guidance, or I encourage every business to consult their attorney and to ask the question, what else should I be thinking of with respect to my specific industry and my specific business and my specific locality? Because what I'm about to get into is a general summary and is not going to account for all those different factors, the size of business and your business relationships, and where those employees, where you're sending your employees and how they're interacting. But very basically, at a high level, have proper reporting policies in place. Those are typically anonymized. So for instance, you have emails that can be sent to HR or the appropriate management of your business that alert that an employee is sick. Be aware of the different acts that still apply, which is the, I'll just highlight a few: the American with Disabilities Act, the Age Discrimination in Employment Act, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. Those concerns as they relate to some examples of those concerns as they relate to COVID-19. You need to treat with ADA and ADEA claims or potential claims or concerns. You need to treat all employees equally and apply the policies non-discriminatorily, both obviously during the pandemic and when the crisis is over and the workplace returns to normal. You may be thinking of sending, for example, maybe thinking, we know that COVID-19 especially impacts people over a certain age or older people, like myself, no, but actually they do. I am 49 years old. My wife likes to say that I'm 50, but I believe there's material out there that says I am in a heightened risk class. So think about someone of my age being told, Bill, we're sending you home because we don't want you to contract COVID-19 in the workplace. And we know you're part of an older age group and therefore you're susceptible. Well, that I might potentially have an age discrimination claim in that context. Consult your attorney to find out how you navigate through those issues and what you have to say, or what you need to say, and what your thought process should be in guiding your decisions. And the other issue is HIPAA. Employers are required to obtain or maintain confidential the medical information they receive about their employees. You have to be careful when you have incidents of COVID-19 and telling people that there's COVID-19 exposure at your business, and making sure that it's as anonymous as it can be, given the setting or given the communication, so that people can't say, oh, you violated my HIPAA rights, because it's easily determined it was me that I had COVID-19. So you can't anticipate every issue, but there are some pretty big issues that you can anticipate, and that's what we're talking about here. Make sure you've insured your business make sure you've informed your employees of their rights under the various acts that are being rolled out, the modifications to the employment laws, and confirm that they're in receipt of those their new rights, and the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. That's one to note, that has the expanding paid sick leave. That impacts FMLA, obviously, or there are impacts to the FMLA that you need to be aware of as an employer or business. And since the requirements at the federal, state, and local level are constantly changing, and what you should do, how you should manage your workplace, how you should distance your employees, I again suggest designating, one or two people, depending on the size of your business, or maybe it's a whole team that is responsible for monitoring updates by the CDC and other local health departments. For instance, here in Illinois, I'm in Chicago. Not only do I think about CDC recommendations, but I also think about the mandatory guidelines of the City of Chicago, the Illinois Department of Health, the Cook County Department of Health. You have to be aware and should monitor it. And then obviously we have the the original employer minimizing risk warning that came out through all of this pandemic, which you should tell your employees if they have a cough, fever, difficulty breathing, they should stay at home and not risk exposing others to illness. Again, you should be checking all your local ordinances on that point. And if all of the above that I've just talked about in the last 5 or so minutes is not followed, either you might be hit with a business employment practices liability claim or an employee benefits insurance related claim. And therefore, remember, those are claim, at least with the employment practices liability coverages, those are claims made. And so you need to be especially cognizant of that.